Welcome to another Scott Tanner Violin video. In today's video, it's all about Minuet No. 3 from Suzuki Book 1. I always like to begin with the teaching points, and the first one is that we're going to be using more of the two-note slur pattern. The second teaching point is that there are slurs across the strings in eighth notes. And the last teaching point is that for the first time, we're playing a grace note. Let's continue with left hand technique. Starting in the first measure, and there might be other similar places, we have a third finger that's on the A string for the note D, and a third finger on the D string, which is the note G. Now, sometimes we want to cover, what we call cover those notes with the finger in the same spot on both strings at the same time. But in this case, we want to jump the third finger across the string. That looks like this. That also occurs in measure 2. So here's measure 1 and 2 with the jumping third finger. Jump. As I mentioned in Minuet No. 2, whenever you see fingerings that are printed in the music, be sure to follow those. An example of that is to play the fourth finger in measure 3 instead of the open E. It has a much better sound to it. That looks and sounds like this. In measure 8, we have what's called a grace note. It's just a very quick first finger before we play the A, and that looks like this. You might want to try a few of these. Just a very quick release of the first finger. There are also descending scale patterns in Minuet No. 3, and just in general, it's a good idea to practice at least a 2-octave G major scale. And if you need to know what that looks like or sounds like, or if you want some help with that, I have a video on that in the technique playlist. A 2-octave G major scale. I'd like to point out measure 17. We're using a fourth finger on the E string, and it's a really good idea to keep second and third finger down as you go back to the fourth finger. See how we come right back to the second finger? I'll do it one more time. 2, 3, 4, come back to 2, and then back to 3. Then jump that finger. So there's another example of left hand technique where we're jumping third finger from the E string to the A string. In measures 20, 21, and 23, we also have the C sharp, which is known as an accidental because it doesn't belong to the key of G. Therefore, after those measures, we revert back to the C natural or a low 2 on the A string. Those measures sound like this with the C sharp. We begin with the C sharp in measure 20. Now it's a scale with the C sharp. Low 2 on the E. Hook the bow stroke with the C sharp. Here's some right hand things for you to consider. In measure 1, begin at the lower half of the bow, using the slur to return to that part of the bow. And that looks like this. See how I return to the lower part? So I'm at the balance point, slur, and I'm back to the balance point, and then stay here. For the next part, which is a full bow stroke, and then a hooked bow stroke, dividing our bow in half. Same idea for measure 3 and 4. Full bow, slur back, stay here, full bow, and then half, half. In measure 8, we run out of bow, so let's recover quickly. That looks like this, with the grace note. In measure 24, we have a dotted half note with a decrescendo, so our bow will travel from the lower half up towards the tip. We'll then stop the bow and continue in the next measure. It's also a piano dynamic. that looks like this. Here it is again. 1, 2, 3, stop, continue, and jump the third finger across the string. I would stay here for the next few measures. Hook the bow, slur, and another slur, and full bow strokes, slur, hook the bow. We're now ready to play through Minuet number 3 with the metronome set to 70 to equal the quarter note. And always remember that if you need to slow this down because it's just too fast, you can go to the cogwheel where you can adjust the setting speed to 75% or 80% or however slow you need to place it so that you can play along with me. Let's begin. If you need more practice of Minuet number 3 at a slow tempo, I have a video. It's called Minuet number 3, Practice Tempo, repeated 5 times. If you'll go to that video and play through it at least once a day, you'll be ready for the performance tempo in no time. Let's continue with the performance tempo with the metronome set to 105 to equal the quarter note. And also remember that because this is a minuet and at this tempo, we want to emphasize the downbeats, which creates a much lighter, happier minuet type characteristic. And if you need more practice with performance tempo, go to the Minuet No. 3 performance tempo repeated 5 times. Thanks for practicing with me today. Strings out.